Hi, this is Keith and Brian. We're going to be going over our new tool. It is the Honda and Acura ignition roll pin removal kit. It was designed to remove the roll pin that holds the ignitions in without drilling or any damage and makes the roll pins reusable. I will start off by opening this up and show you the application chart. And as you can see, there is a type 1 and a type 2. And that will correspond to the two different fixtures you see in the case, type 1 and type 2. Just a quick run over of what's in the pack. You'll see a quarter 20 little T-nut. You'll see some color-coded screws. This brass 5/16, the collar, Allen wrench, the ice pick, and the center punch. This here is going to be the working part of the tool. I'll get one out and show you real quick. Alright, inside that package you have two tubes. You have a short, wide tube, or fatter tube, and then a thin tube that will fit inside of it. Okay, now on the end of the inside tube, you're going to see it's split and it's slightly flared out. Now what that's designed to do, and to load this thing to where you can use it, you'll take the bigger tube, slide it in till it bottoms out, and then the Allen wrench, and you just want to get it snug to where it holds everything in place. Now you'll put the inside tube into the outer tube, and at this point the tool is ready to use once you get the fixture in place. So I just wanted to go over how to load that along with this introduction, and that covers all of the tools that are involved in using this, and we'll get on to showing you some demonstrations of it actually being used. And thank you, and I hope you like it. And bye. Okay, we're going to be demonstrating our Type 1 ignition on this '06 Odyssey here. So go ahead and start getting the plastic clamshell out of the way and to where we can actually get to the ignition. Okay, using the supplied ice pick, you're going to put it into the center of the roll pin, rock it around the different directions a little bit. You're going to try and get the roll pin to stay centered when you take it out. You can push inward some to flare out the roll pin some, and then on the back side you want to tap lightly on the ignition cylinder itself, and that will push the cylinder back toward the roll pin, pushing the roll pin out as far as possible. Once you do that, it's time to grab the correct fixture. This one, of course, is going to be Type 1. You see the black screw hole, mounting screw hole, and the red mounting screw hole. So out of the kit, you grab the appropriate screws, and you're going to use those to install the fixture to the ignition housing. Now, some of these holes on these ignition housings either have Loctite in them or some kind of, or they may just not be threaded very well or very deep. So sometimes you might need to use the included washers if the housing is still loose. Just use a couple of the washers on those screws, and that'll take up the gap and hold the cylinder more securely. Once you do that, you're going to thread in the quarter 20 screw on the back. This is basically your ignition cylinder pressure
And what this is designed to do is it's designed to keep the cylinder pushing toward the roll pin so that it doesn't push the ignition cylinder the opposite direction and thus pushing the roll pin in farther. So once that's in place, grab the brass screw assembly and you're going to enter it into the hole on the roll pin, wiggle it around a little bit to where it centers over the roll pin, and with one finger holding it in place, thread it in just a couple of full turns just to get it in place. Now you want to tap on the end of the tube, and that's going to basically just make sure that that tube is as far in over the roll pin as it can be. Now once you do that, go ahead and finish threading it in. It'll come to a definite stop. It's going to be pretty easy to turn, and then you'll feel a sudden stop. Now, once you do that, you can unscrew the back 1/4-20 screw to take the tension off of the ignition cylinder. You're going to turn the set screw, all it really needs is about one full rotation, and that's going to clamp the two tubes together in place. Now you can back it out and it has the roll pin attached to the end, pinched in there. So once you do that, then you can take the assembly off. We'll speed that up a little bit. Okay, once the roll pin's been removed and the fixture's been removed, the ignition cylinder will come out, but you'll want to use the ice pick again to simulate a key being in the ignition to lift up the tailpiece. I think that's the steering lock mechanism, part of the steering lock mechanism. So just insert it in through the keyway, lifting it up like a key was in there, and then the ignition will slide right out. Okay, and that's about all there is to it. You can go ahead and do your repair and throw it all back together. Thank you.
We're in, and I'm going to go ahead and pull the plastic shroud off, and then we'll get busy videoing. Be right back. Hi, this is Keith and Brian with LockTech. We're going to be demonstrating on a Honda Odyssey 2004. This is going to be using our Honda and Acura ignition roll pin removal kit, and we'll see it in action here. On the Type 2, because of clearance issues to get the plastic rings off and stuff like that, it's a lot easier to just remove the ignition. So we're going to back these off with the pointed center punch that comes with the kit. Okay, we've got our Type 2 ignition, which gets our Type 2 faceplate. Pop it on and go by your color codes. We need the gray screw in the kit. Alright, and the red one. Now hold everything straight. I'm going to put our 1/4-20 T in. And just go ahead and snug it up against the ignition cylinder. You can see it inside there. Alright, now on the other side, we've already got our 5/16 thumb screw set up, so it's already, you can see the split in it, maybe. Okay, so you're going to, of course, get that to go over the over the roll pin. Now, once you get that, you can feel it. If it's moving around in there, you're not over it. You'll feel it when it goes over it. It'll stop having any extra play in it. So pushing in on the outer screw, you're going to turn on the outer tube. You're going to turn the screw a couple threads to get it started. Okay, now that it's started, you want to tap with a hammer or a pair of pliers, whatever you got handy. Just tap lightly on the inner tube, the one that's sticking out the back of the screw, to make sure it's seated all the way down. Okay, now double check our thumb screw on this side, it's tight. I'm going to go ahead and finish screwing this in. And what that's doing right now is it's compressing the outer sleeve over the top of this inner tube, which is wrapped around the roll pin. Okay, so go till that's bottomed out. It's bottomed out now. Now we want to secure those two tubes together. So we'll turn the Allen wrench. Really all it needs is about one more full turn. Then you want to disengage the pressure off of this side so that the cylinder is loose again. Now you can back out this side. Which has your roll pin attached to the end of it. Alright, then take the now your ignition comes out so you can do the repair. Then you just pull the roll pin out when you're putting it back together, stick it right back in the hole that it was in. That's it. That's type 2 of our ignition roll pin removal kit. Thank you.